In recent years, Saudi Arabia has become the focus of countless online articles, forums, and YouTube videos. We're responsible for some of them, thanks to its visionary and often outrageously ambitious architectural plans. Chief among these is the now famous linear skyscraper The Line, which is part of the country's experimental Neom City, and we've spent many videos bagging on it. While The Line and other bold projects in Saudi Arabia have captured the world's attention, several other proposed cities across the globe have largely flown under the radar. Some of these innovative cities are already under construction or even welcoming their first residents. So today we're going to explore 7 of them. And because we've bagged on Neom so much, we're not going to let it have an appearance here as well, but let's dive in. Like its neighbour, Saudi Arabia, the UAE has long been exploring futuristic urban concepts. In 2006, Abu Dhabi launched the Masdar initiative, which aimed to diversify the nation's economy while positioning it as a leader in renewable energy. A cornerstone of this initiative was Masdar City, a zero-waste, zero-carbon, car-free city designed to run entirely on renewable energy. With an estimated cost of $18 to $22 billion, Masdar City was relatively modest compared to other grand visions of the future. Planned for the outskirts of Abu Dhabi, adjacent to Zayed International Airport, it was designed to accommodate 50,000 residents and 40,000 daily commuters. Spanning 6 square kilometers or 2.3 square miles, the city was envisioned as a hub for research institutions, startups, and international companies, all contributing to economic growth and innovation. Rather than relying on conventional vehicles, Masdar City was set to utilize a fleet of autonomous electric vehicles, including personal transport pods. In addition, smart street lights were to be installed, automatically adjusting their brightness based on pedestrian activity to reduce energy consumption. Architecturally, the city was designed to blend traditional Arab elements with modern technology. Most buildings were envisioned as compact, low-rise structures with recessed windows, while narrow streets were planned to provide natural shade and ventilation, potentially reducing ambient temperatures by 5 to 10 degrees Celsius or 41 to 50 Fahrenheit. Sustainable materials were a priority. For instance, buildings would incorporate low-carbon cement, and 90% of the aluminium used in shading systems would be recycled. Furthermore, the entire city was set to operate on solar energy. The monitoring and management of the city's infrastructure, including air quality, energy usage, and waste, would be handled by an IoT, that's Internet of Things system that connected vehicles, buildings, sensors, and more, reflecting an increasingly common feature in future city planning. Construction began in 2008 with an initial goal of completion in 2015. However, the 2010 financial crisis combined with overly ambitious expectations caused significant delays. A revised plan was then introduced, shifting the target completion date to 2030 and reducing the anticipated population to 40,000. Despite these setbacks, construction has continued steadily and many key structures have already been completed. Highlights include the Siemens Energy Regional Headquarters, the first of 21 LEED Platinum certified buildings completed so far, and a Khalifa University campus built in partnership with MIT, designed to use 51% less energy and 54% less water than similar buildings in the UAE. The city has since shifted from its original carbon zero goal to a more attainable carbon neutral model. As of 2023, approximately 15,000 residents and commuters have moved to their homes in the city. Many future cities around the world share common goals, chief among them addressing challenges such as climate change, deforestation, and environmental degradation. These shared concerns have spurred the development of a wave of green city concepts. While many of these proposals are impressive in their own right, few rival the ambition of the Smart Forest City planned near Cancun in Mexico. Designed by the architectural firm Stefano Berri Architetti, best known for projects like the Vertical Forest in Milan, Smart Forest City is envisioned to cover 557 hectares, that's roughly 2.5 times the size of Monaco. Drawing inspiration from the region's Mayan heritage and its deep connection to nature, the city's design evokes a striking resemblance to New York City's Central Park when viewed from above. Shaped as a long rectangle, it will be densely covered in greenery and interwoven with wide canals. Of the city's 5.57 square kilometers or 2.2 square miles, 4 square kilometers will be devoted entirely to green spaces, incorporating around 7.5 million plants. These plants will not only embellish public parks and private gardens, but will also adorn the facades and rooftops of every building, including the envisioned skyscrapers. According to the designers, these green features, supported by on-site facilities, will enable Smart Forest City to absorb approximately 116,000 tons of CO2 each year, while also storing an additional 5,800 tons. Furthermore, buildings will be equipped with smart sensors that gather and share environmental data with the city's projected 130,000 residents. This data will cover various metrics such as temperature, humidity, and even real-time climate conditions across different parts of the city. At the city's entrance, a desalination tower paired with storage facilities will provide water, which will flow through a network of canals to irrigate the urban core and the surrounding agricultural fields. In parallel with this water infrastructure, a vast array of solar panels will generate renewable energy, allowing the city to be fully self-sufficient in both food and power. In keeping with its eco-centric vision, all conventional vehicles will be banned from within the city limits. Instead, a system of semi-autonomous electric vehicles will offer sustainable transportation, reducing emissions and enhancing residents' quality of life. Since forests can absorb up to 40% of emissions from urban fossil fuel use, this focus on vegetation and clean transit is central to the city's sustainability goals. Although still in the planning phase and pending local approval, the Smart Forest City is expected to host an advanced research center dedicated to environmental science and sustainability. The designers hope that it will not only serve as a model for climate-conscious urban development, but also function as a global hub for environmental research, attracting academics, innovators, and global leaders in sustainability. In 2021, American billionaire Mark Law made headlines by announcing a visionary plan for a futuristic city in the United States. In his imagined metropolis, Americans of all backgrounds, social standings, and beliefs would live in harmony under a system called equitism. At its core, equitism centers on the idea that all resources, rights, and opportunities should be equally accessible to every citizen, a goal achieved by giving each person an equal stake in the city itself. A community endowment would ensure that any increase in the city's value flows back to the residents rather than to a wealthy few, thus fostering balanced growth while mitigating challenges such as neighborhood decay and gentrification. To bring this idea to life, Law enlisted the help of the Bajak Ingalls Group, or BIG, a firm renowned for its innovative work on futuristic cities around the world. BIG's master plan was both ambitious and striking. It proposed a development spanning approximately 60,000 hectares or 150,000 acres, which is roughly the size of Chicago. Ideally, it would be located in a vast desert region in the western United States. The city would operate entirely on renewable energy and include numerous green spaces that would be preserved and prioritized. In the arid desert climate, water conservation would be crucial, with systems implemented on site to store, purify, and reuse water. The buildings would vary in size, yet share distinct futuristic designs, each strategically oriented to maximize shade, channel wind, and lower temperatures. At the heart of the city would stand Equitism Tower, Telosa's proposed centerpiece. With its woven facade and funnel-shaped structure, it aims to be unlike anything built before. Described as a beacon for the city, the tower would house water storage, a large-scale aeroponics farm, and a solar-paneled roof. Like the rest of Telosa, it would be powered by IoT technology, enabling real-time monitoring of water usage, waste management, and other essential systems. A secure digital infrastructure would support further communications, transactions, and an array of smart city features. One of the most compelling aspects of the proposed city is the 15-minute city concept, which plays a crucial role in its infrastructure. Telosa would prioritize pedestrians and cyclists, keeping traditional vehicles outside the city limits. Instead, residents would rely on a network of slow-moving, autonomous electric vehicles, including cable cars and even flying transport pods, all accessible from the city's major mobility hubs. Currently, Law is seeking approximately $400 billion in funding for the project. Although a specific location has not yet been chosen, potential sites include Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. Once financing is secured and a location is selected, construction will occur in phases. The first phase is targeted for completion by 2030 and is expected to support a population of 50,000. Over the following decades, the plan is to gradually expand the city, ultimately reaching a population of 5 million by 2050. Whether any of this will actually happen, though, that just remains to be seen, doesn't it? In 2020, the Penang state government in Malaysia grew increasingly concerned about the threat that rapid urbanization posed to local biodiversity. In response, the state launched a competition to find a designer for the Penang South Islands, a new development to be built on reclaimed land off the coast of Penang. The winning proposal was submitted by BIG, that's Pechak Ingalls Group, the same firm from the previous entry. The design envisioned 1,821 hectares spread across 3 man-made islands dedicated to supporting the coexistence of humans and nature. BIG's concept, called BiodiverCity, was designed to live up to its name by incorporating localized water sources, renewable energy, and a sophisticated waste management system. Construction would rely entirely on sustainable materials and green building methods. The city's primary building materials were to include bamboo, Malaysian timber, and green concrete as an aggregate composed of recycled materials. Every rooftop in BiodiverCity was planned to produce energy, capture rainwater, and grow food by integrating solar panels with rooftop gardens. Similarly, the rest of the buildings would continue this theme, featuring greenery on their exteriors to form living facades. Instead of conventional vehicles, the city would employ an autonomous transportation network that combined railways with waterway traffic. Meanwhile, the 3 islands were envisioned to resemble lily pads, with each island designed to house between 15,000 and 80,000 residents, primarily entrepreneurs, investors, and celebrities. The first island, the Channels, was planned in 3 phases, with a large aquatic park at its center known as Blue Plaza. Phase 1 would focus on active destinations, including attractions like a wave garden and a technology park to draw initial residents. The second phase would introduce a civic heart, featuring government offices and research institutions. The third and final phase, called the Cultural Coast, was designed to reflect the rich heritage of nearby Georgetown. The second island, the Mangroves, was intended to serve as the business and service hub. At its center, Big envisioned a large structure known as the Bamboo Beacon, which would function as a convention center for meetings, press events, and special gatherings. The third and westernmost island, the Laguna, was planned as the primary residential zone. Described as an oasis for ecological living, it would feature a central marina surrounded by a mini archipelago of 8 smaller islands, offering various housing types, including terraced, floating, and stilted homes. Unfortunately, in 2023, the Penang state government announced a significant scale down of the project. Instead of the original plan for 3 man-made islands covering 1,821 hectares, the revised proposal calls for a single island roughly half that size. This new version, called Silicon Island, integrates elements from all 3 original islands into a more modest and achievable vision. Among the many cities around the world grappling with the challenges of rapid urbanization, while few have responded as swiftly and ambitiously as Cairo. Faced with explosive population growth and worsening pollution, Egypt unveiled plans in 2015 to build a new capital. Although several names were proposed, including Kemet, Wedion, and Massa, none fully captured the vision for the city. As a result, it retains the provisional title, the New Administrative Capital, which is catchy. Located about 45 kilometers or 28 miles east of Cairo and roughly halfway to Suez, the site for the new city spans approximately 725 square kilometers or 280 square miles, comparable in size to Singapore. The plan for the new administrative capital is grand in scope, incorporating 21 residual districts, a new government administration quarter, a diplomatic area, a central business district, and a new international airport. To balance this extensive urban development, the city also includes vast green spaces. Chief among them is Green River Park, a 32-kilometer long or 20-mile landscaped corridor running through the city's heart, symbolizing the Nile River. Yet, this city was envisioned to be more than merely a new capital. It was conceived as a futuristic, all-encompassing urban hub. The plans call for 2,000 educational institutions, a massive stadium, more than 1,200 churches and mosques, 18 hospitals, and a theme park 4 times the size of Disneyland. In addition, the city will feature a comprehensive Internet of Things infrastructure, complete with over 6,000 surveillance cameras managed in tandem with authorities and AI. Which sounds very dystopian. When completed, it's expected to accommodate a population of 6.5 million people. Although the project is still in its first phases, many of the city's signature buildings have already been completed. Since relocating the government was a top priority, numerous official structures are now finished, including the House of Representatives, the Presidential Palace, and the Octagon, Egypt's counterpart to the American Pentagon. Really? Many of these structures showcase a unique blend of modern architectural design with ancient Egyptian influences such as carved pillars and sandstone-like facades. In 2024, with most key government buildings complete, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi officially inaugurated the new administrative capital as Egypt's new seat of government during his 3rd term swearing-in ceremony. Beyond government buildings, the city already features several major landmarks. The iconic tower, Africa's tallest building at 77 stories, 394 meters or 1,292 feet, a state-of-the-art opera house with 5 performance halls, and the largest cathedral in the Middle East. Yet even these are dwarfed by the Grand Mosque, which is capable of hosting up to 130,000 worshippers at one time. With the seat of government relocated and a light rail transit system now connecting the city to Cairo, hundreds of thousands of residents reportedly already call the new capital home. Mark Law's vision shows that the pursuit of futuristic cities extends far beyond government and humanitarian efforts. Private investors and corporations are also leading the way. One standout example is Toyota's Woven City. Situated near Mount Fuji in Susono City, Shizuoka Prefecture in Japan, this forward-thinking development occupies a 175-acre site that was once home to a Toyota car factory. According to the company, the city is founded on 3 core principles: living laboratory, human-centered, and ever-evolving. At its core, Woven City is envisioned as a real-world experimental hub comprising 2 primary groups of residents: inventors and weavers. The inventors, drawn largely from the Toyota Group, affiliated third-party companies, startups, and academic institutions, will work out of the Inventor Garage, where they will continuously innovate new mobility technologies. This space is designed as an open environment for developing, testing, and refining new ideas, products, and systems. Weavers, on the other hand, will include residents, tourists, and short-term visitors who share a passion for exploring new technology. They will engage directly with the innovations created by the inventors, putting tools, prototypes, and vehicles to the test under real-life conditions. Their feedback will generate valuable data and insights, enabling inventors to move beyond traditional lab testing and implement real-time improvements. In addition to participating in trials, weavers will likely contribute to the community by running shops, cafes, and other local businesses. While it may sound like Toyota's high-tech playground to showcase its latest cars, the company is pursuing a much broader goal. Within Woven City, only zero-emission vehicles are allowed, with residents and visitors depending on autonomous electric e-pallets for general transportation. Toyota is using the project as a platform to evolve from a traditional car manufacturer into a leader in holistic mobility, encompassing the movement of people, goods, energy, and data. Consequently, much of the research and development will center on technologies such as self-driving electric vehicles, robotics, and AI. Meanwhile, the city's design follows a modular, grid-based layout. The architecture will blend traditional Japanese elements with cutting-edge technology, all centered around a communal town square. Most homes will be primarily constructed from wood and equipped with solar panels. As with many other planned smart cities, all buildings, transportation systems, and infrastructure will be connected through an Internet of Things network safeguarded by advanced systems. Dedicated lanes will be designed for pedestrians, high-speed vehicles, and personal mobility devices alike. To support its sustainability goals, the entire city will be powered by hydrogen energy. Phase 1 of the project has recently been completed, with public launch scheduled for the fall of 2025. The first 100 residents, primarily Toyota employees, will serve as the city's inaugural inventors. Although the initial phase can accommodate up to 360 residents, that number is expected to grow as the development continues. With a diverse group of partners and investors from industries ranging from education to beverage manufacturing, and with construction already underway for Phase 2, Woven City appears to be on track to achieving its goal of welcoming 2,000 residents and opening its doors to the public by 2026. Of all the challenges facing modern cities today, few have caused as much damage or continue to pose as great a threat as rising sea levels. In fact, 90% of the world's megacities are currently vulnerable to sea level rise, prompting a wave of futuristic proposals. Chief among these is the concept of floating cities. Although floating city ideas have circulated for decades, most have been dismissed as overly ambitious or unrealistic, with only a few exceptions gaining traction. Notable examples include the Dubai Reefs project, Japan's Dogen smart healthcare city, and the Maldives floating city, whose colorful buildings and palm-lined streets may soon become the world's first functional floating city, with completion expected in 2027. Yet few of these initiatives possess the backing, technology, or transformative potential of Oceanix Busan. In 2019, the United Nations held its first roundtable on sustainable floating cities and committed to developing a prototype partnership with a host city. Busan, South Korea, stepped forward, and the UN enlisted the expertise of architectural firms Samu and BIG. Yes, that company again, who delivered the first prototype model in 2022. What they unveiled was nothing short of groundbreaking. The design comprises 3 interconnected triangular floating platforms with rounded edges that together cover 6.3 hectares and are intended to host 12,000 residents. Constructed from biorock, a self-sustaining, self-repairing material, the platforms are connected to the mainland by link-span bridges. Along these bridges, dedicated spaces for art installations, recreational activities, and live performances enhance the overall experience. The lodging platform, the smallest of the 3, offers a topside area of 30,000 square meters or 323,000 square feet. Viewed from above, it resembles sort of 2 stacked fidget spinners. It features a central triangular courtyard, 3 main wings, and 3 dedicated side wings. The platform is designed to accommodate lodging and dining options for guests, along with communal terraces and greenhouses accessible to everyone. Its distinctive design maximizes waterfront views, ensuring a premium experience from every room. The living platform, medium in size and centrally located, is envisioned as a residential village. Its buildings, characterized by soft-cornered hexagonal roofs, will be arranged around a shared community backyard, fostering social interaction and a strong sense of cohabitation. The research platform, the largest at 37,000 square meters or nearly 400,000 square feet, will mainly consist of a single hexagon-shaped building. As its name implies, this platform is poised to become the city's central hub for maritime and environmental research. At ground level, it will feature a communal winter garden and a spacious, climate-controlled central atrium. In the atrium, vertical hydroponic towers will operate throughout the year, providing food for the city's inhabitants. Each platform will be equipped with integrated systems, including solar panels, closed-loop water systems, and more. That's going to make every unit fully self-sufficient in power, water, and resource management. Although Oceanix Busan is envisioned as a prototype for future floating cities, its design is scalable, with the potential to expand to 20 platforms and accommodate as many as 100,000 residents. While initial projections anticipated completion by 2025, construction appears to have been delayed, and the revised target for the completion of Oceanix Busan is now set for 2030. Thank you for watching.